So now the epilogue finally of the trip to St. Lucia via London from Bucharest. This epilogue wouldn't be necessary if I didn't have the purpose to mention some other expenses that we had in our complete journey. I slept very few hours and I was tired as fuck when we landed on Gatwick at around 7:30 a.m. The return flight was faster due to the currents, less than 7 hours and a half. Now to Bucharest, our Wizz Air plane would leave in 13 hours or so. So we took two express trains tickets to London Victoria. £46 for both, or around 58 USD to keep the currency. But not only that, we have spent also 90 USD to leave the luggage at the airport, apart from a backpack which I took in our journey. We had a steady 10 kilometers walk and a Greek lunch, of course. We saw the Buckingham Palace, Big Ben, London Eye, the Tower Bridge and other such landmarks, and we headed back to Gatwick with the wrong train initially but cheaper, spent around 17 USD, so we did make some savings. Apart from this, you can imagine, London is a beautiful city and you can enjoy it. Unfortunately, being from Romania, it was a huge disadvantage as we saw a lot of people from our country that have nothing to do with any moral values or moral business, to say like this. I won't insist on this topic as I was anyway ashamed of the landscape and understood better why Romanians are not being let in hotels from the Netherlands, for example, or to enter a country like Mexico. It happened some years ago, if you remember. Also, I better understand why New Zealand or even Mongolia introduced visa for Romanians and why US doesn't lift their visas, or why we are not allowed in Schengen. A sad but obvious truth. Anyway, London is beautiful, but the main purpose for adding this was not to make a description of the city, but to add the expenses from there to our overall 2-week vacation spent. Because London is not cheap, neither is it too expensive, of course. In the next chapter, I will make a resume for you in terms of financial spend for our whole journey, just to make an impression how you can travel from Romania, Central Eastern Europe, in a destination like St. Lucia. It is not very difficult, neither exaggerated costly, but you need to know one or two things to arrange the best trip possible. Money is not everything, but it is the only thing everybody keeps track of. It's a saying from Dan Penny I like very much. It is the pure truth. I had detailed our expense above clearly, but here I will make a resume to have it better visible when you want to make some budget calculation. Everything is calculated for persons, and in the end I'm dividing it by 2, of course. So the plane tickets are 1,846 USD. The accommodation including Gatwick is 938 USD. The transportation in St. Lucia was roughly 221 USD, divided into minibus almost 97 USD, taxi 30 USD, pickup 34, boat taxi 60 USD. Trips, excursions and activities were 1010 USD. The hike to Gross Piton 100 euros, the hike on Tadpole 20 euros, the helicopter ride was more than half, 522 USD, Project Chocolate was 138, and the day trip with everything included was 230. Other expenses approximately 1,528 USD. Lunch at Ans Shastani was 75 USD. Luggage left in London 90 USD. Train from the and to Gatwick Airport 63 USD. Groceries and 2 launches in Gatwick Hevanora Airport approximately 1,100 USD. So basically this was the food spent there. Tips and souvenirs approximately 200 USD. The budget conclusions for St. Lucia is that we have maximized the approximation as per my judgment. But from my perspective, I don't keep a track on the money spent on food unless at restaurants, because I spent a lot of money on food as well as at home, so I don't find it relevant to mention in the budget for a trip. But I have added just for you to have a rough idea. Therefore, gathering all the expenses above, the final bill raised, I guess, to 5,543 USD, or roughly speaking 5,600 USD. Dividing by 2, it was maybe for 2 weeks to 2,800 USD. Without including the groceries and the food ate in the airport, then it is 4,500 or 2,250 USD person. To me, this is pretty decent for what we did there. I hope you find this useful. And not to end with this, but to provide some further useful advice, I'll make a short list of cultural behavior things that you might want to be aware when traveling to Saint Lucia from this part of Europe. So here they are. People push the traffic horn gently when they see others to check on them or before entering in a curve to warn drivers coming from the other way. Generally speaking, all persons are very polite and willing to help tourists. They don't try to cheat on you. Financially speaking, they are very correct. At least this was my main impression. You might experience beggars, but they are not insistent. And if you mind your own business, they will give up. I mean, coming from Romania, one of the biggest producers of beggars in the world, it was really only the something neglectable. They can get sometimes pushy, especially in Castria, and especially if you are with a lady, but I never felt they become insistent or dangerous. The groceries prices are higher than I expected considering the minimum income. Normally, if you want to exchange USD for XCD at the bank, you need to have your passport, but in the end I managed to change some cash with my ID card as I didn't want to carry my main document with me. They were very understandable. If you have a Revolut account and a card, you can use it to extract directly XCD, which I did from a Massy store from the inside of the store. To be on the safe side, you can pay in USD in almost all places, and the exchange rate is between 2.7 normal and 2.5 XCD per USD, but you need to have bills no larger than 20 USD because they might not accept greater bills because of the fraud increasing. If you want to pay by card at Massy, make sure you enter your PIN correct because you can swipe your card only once. The public transportation doesn't have a clear schedule. Departs when all 15 slots are full, but in the morning and in the afternoon the places fill quickly. Be careful in the weekend. On Saturday the trips between big cities ends quicker, and on Sunday you cannot travel on the whole island by bus. Okay, people say hello on the street, especially if they see you as a tourist. Salute back. I felt that they like it very much. Even though the criminality is quite high, I don't think they have anything to do with tourists, but only for retaliation. Still unfortunate. If you want to stay near Hanavanora airport and don't afford the resort, then a piece of paradise is the best option, as I can say. You could go for a resort on the island for more money, take some excursions, but in this case I don't think it is worth it to spend more than 6 nights. Rely on Massy. The store has everything you want, and I highly recommend the Jamaican big juices at 1.5 liters. There are a lot of stray dogs on the street in towns, but I did not see an aggressive one, neither at least a barking one. If you rent a car, be careful. Many places are packed with goats that are free and might cross the street unexpectedly. The roads are generally good, but if you travel from Vieux Fort to Soufrière, you will see not too many places with white lines on the middle, so be careful. Drivers usually are not passing each other unless in special circumstances. Last but not least, I will leave you ending cultural note from St. Lucia. Of course, less words, more pictures in the link from the link, as I like to call it, the link from the description, which has included inside several links. So Bob Marley is a Jamaican, but this music represents the whole Caribbean region. Therefore, one of its kind of an everlasting current trend in St. Lucia. Apart from the song itself, the colors represent the same as the Ethiopian flag. This is because many locals have African origins and they worship this country. The only one from this continent, from Africa of course, that resisted European invasion under Emperor Haile Selassie. You can find pictures of him like the one below, of course, from in the link from the link, with the green, yellow, red flag everywhere. So guys, I hope you liked my presentation, my kind of short audiobook based on what I've wrote on my website. You can have rough information there. Here it is easier if you want to catch only part of them, but hope this helps you and hope at least one person use this guide to have a dream vacation in St. Lucia like we did. Bye, and let's discuss about next adventures soon. See you later.